Are you trying to hide your lean? Are you spending your life trying to stand up straight, to be normal, to fit in? The Leaning Tower of Pisa isn't famous for being straight. It is famous for the flaw that made it unique. And you, with your cracks and your leans, you have the same potential. There is a story of a master sculptor who was given a block of the finest white marble. It was flawless, pure, perfect. The sculptor looked at it and saw 1,000 possibilities, but he set it aside. It was too perfect. It had no character. It would be beautiful, yes, but it would be like every other beautiful statue. Forgettable. Then he was given another block. This one was different. It was also white marble, but it had a flaw. A crack ran through its heart, deep and dark. The other sculptors in the workshop laughed. "That stone is useless," they said. "The crack will ruin anything you carve. The statue will break. Throw it away." But the master picked it up. He ran his fingers along the crack. He closed his eyes. He saw something the others could not see. He saw not a flaw, but a path. He saw not a weakness, but a doorway. He began to carve. Day after day, he worked. The other sculptors watched, curious. They saw the shape emerging. It was a sage, an old wise man, seated in meditation. The folds of his robes began to appear. And then they saw something extraordinary. The master was not avoiding the crack. He was using it. He carved the flowing robes of the sage, so that the crack became a natural fold in the fabric. The darkness of the crack became depth. It became shadow. It became the suggestion of movement, of life, of stories hidden in the folds. Where the crack had been, there was now the most beautiful part of the entire statue. When the sage was finished, the other sculptors gathered around in silence. They had never seen anything like it. The statue seemed alive. The folds of the robe seemed to move. The crack, once a flaw, now gave the statue a depth that the perfect marble could never achieve. It was not just a statue. It was a masterpiece. The perfect block of marble sat in the corner untouched. It was still flawless. It was still pure. And it was still nothing. You are that marble. You have been told your whole life to hide your flaws. Hide your past. Hide your mistakes. Hide the parts of you that don't fit in. You try to sand them down, to cover them up, to pretend they don't exist. And in doing so, you become like the perfect block. Flawless, pure, and forgettable. But what if your flaw is not your weakness? What if it is your signature? The Leaning Tower of Pisa was a mistake. The builders made an error in the foundation, and the tower began to lean. They tried to fix it. They tried to straighten it. But nothing worked. And then something strange happened. People started coming to see it. Not the straight towers, not the perfect ones. They came to see the one that leaned. The flaw made it famous. The flaw made it unique. The flaw made it a wonder of the world. What if the thing you are most ashamed of is the thing that will make you unforgettable? What if the crack in your story is where the light gets in? What if the lean in your tower is what makes people stop and stare? Think about it. The deepest connections you have ever made were not based on your perfection. They were based on your humanity. When you admitted you were scared, someone else felt brave. When you showed your scar, someone else felt healed. When you shared your failure, someone else found the courage to try again. Your cracks are not where you are broken. They are where the art happens. The master sculptor did not fix the crack. He carved around it. He incorporated it. He made it the centerpiece. He knew that the flaw was not a mistake. It was an invitation. It was the place where he could add his genius. Stop trying to be the perfect block. No one remembers the perfect block. They remember the sage with the flowing robes. They remember the tower that leans. They remember the one that was flawed, and because of those flaws, became a masterpiece. Let your cracks show. Let your story be seen. You are not broken. You are art waiting to be finished. and the master is already carving.